And to take us into the Lord of the Rings discussion, Tender Warrior 68 says for $5, repurposed how Beren and Luthien met with Celeborn and Galadriel. Repurposed so much stuff. Need to retake 11th grade creative writing class they failed. Obviously, a dig at the showrunners of the Rings of Power, which, yeah, from what I understand, is basically remaking the events of the Third Age in the Second Age. Beyond that, I'm not really that familiar with the source material. I do like my sword and sorcery, and not my high fantasy. So I respect Tolkien, never really read Tolkien outside of The Lord of the Rings, and I skipped right over the appendices. Couldn't be asked to write them. So I can't assess the show in any kind of way based on the source material, but I can assess it on its own merits. And those merits are atrocious. Worse now that we've seen the entirety of season 1, which is also finished by now. So I put it to you in the panel. What did you feel about the Rings of Power now that it's finished? Mr. Culture, are you back?
No, he's not.
Yeah.
There you are. So yeah, because we only have you for a limited time. So share with us, how impressed were you with the final episode of the Rings of Power?
Well, without going into spoilers, because
feel free, go into spoilers.
Oh, okay. Well, with all of the spoilers, we already knew the entire show. We were told, everybody out there, Nerdrotic over, Gary over at Nerdrotic, and many others already knew and told you everything that was going to happen.
Yeah.
There
you know
were
who,
really...
I just to interrupt real quick there.
Yeah.
Do you know who didn't know? The trades. They act surprised.
Yeah, well, they were the only ones, because even without knowing that in advance, you would have guessed it regardless had you just been paying attention through the first 4 episodes of the show. And it's like I took away that we were going to end up with the feminine version of the well, not the ring wraiths exactly, but like the precursor to that. And it was unsatisfying, as far as any kind of a show goes. But it was satisfying that we were right all along, that this was exactly where it was headed. And what I find even more ridiculous is that according to the showrunners, Sauron is going to be more Walter White like in the second season. So you're getting Walter White Sauron.
So he's going to make meth?
I guess. I don't know.
But what are the rings if not
at least now we know what happened to Harfoots.
Middle Earth.
There you go. Yeah,
and all messed out. That's what happened.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, any episode with no Harfoots was a good episode, or as little Harfoots as possible. I'm on board with that.
Wow.
Yeah, they are just incredibly unlikable. Right. I mean, but look, the final episode went down the way it would. And I don't know, Andre, what do you want me to say? This show was very bad from beginning to end. And it was a story idea that was filled with filler. And that's kind of the way all of this stuff is released now. We have an idea for a film, but we have to stretch it for 10 hours or however many hours it has to be, 8 to 10 hours. And it's not good. 5 seasons, 10 episodes, 50 hours of television. I don't know that they're going to bring any audience back for the second season. I think that this is so distasteful and frustrating, especially here at the end, that I don't know that you're going to bring anybody in for a second season, whether or not you decide to pivot towards Breaking Bad or not. I don't know.
Luckily, season 2 is like 2 years away, isn't it? So we're not going to be burdened with it until 2024.
And then how are they going to gin up interest in it again? See, that's where the problem was.
Question. Mr. Chato.
They've got 17 rings left to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost tiresome thinking of it. That all I can think is that the Sauron reveal should have been in the middle of this run. The endless mystery boxes and
Well,
and why him? Like, I don't understand why he was Sauron. This show is just so tragically bad. Like the three wraiths picking on the wrong wizard dude. Oh, but first we can't get this Sauron guy, to be too powerful too quickly. So we're going to bash him around a bit and throw him against rocks, because that's what you do with an all-powerful guy that might, when he comes back, to consciousness, might beat the living shit out of us. But notwithstanding that, we're going to beat the living crap out of him first to prevent him from being too Sauron. And then what? And then when the reveal, wait, we got the wrong Sauron.
You just made my eyes go so cross they like spun around inside my head.
You know what it reminded me of? Because Tom, I just have to tell you what happens. Because basically you have MEitM, who is in charge of the female-centric and therefore superior ring rates, right? And they go to homeless dude who's been following the Harfoots the whole series, who we of course know is Gandalf. Like, it's obviously Gandalf. But then here, the writers, they come with their misdirect, right? Just like they did in Star Trek Into Darkness, when they wanted everyone to think that no, Benedict Cumberbatch, he's definitely not playing Khan. He's playing this other dude, John Harrison. Here's the misdirect. This was the parallel to that. This was when they went through. This is John Harrison. This was that. There was like
no. They
so
realized
here you have these ring rates.
They realized it was the dude. Oh no, it's the dude! Crap! Yeah. We got the dude.
They made the Harfoot stupid. Like
he's wearing the rug they peed on.
Yeah, whenever anything bad happens, they're like, it's that big guy, or they're like, we need more fruit. Ask him for more fruit. And I'm like, these people can't be this ignorant. They live in a magical world. I just don't buy that. It's so ridiculous.
I hate them. I hate the Harfoots. I hate it.
I have to say about the Harfoots. I have to say the single most ridiculous, insane line of this entire series so far, of all 10, actually it's more than 10, like it's around 10 hours we have endured so far, was towards the very end when Gandalf takes off with Nori, the little Harfoot girl.
Right.
And then none of them really knows which way to go, because he's just like in the process of gaining his memory back. He just learned that, oh, I wasn't Sauron anyway. I'm good. And she's like, I'm coming with you because I know you're good. It's like, the bullshit is that? And her parents just like, go with that big man. He's going to get you killed. Make us proud. It's like, what the hell? But anyway, the worst thing then, as I was getting around to, is that, and then Gandalf, he's like, okay, I don't know where to go, and you don't know where to go, but just take a whiff, smell the air, and then follow your nose. Why would you say something like that around Harfoots, the filthiest, disgustingest, smelliest creatures in all of science fiction, or all of fantasy? I mean, the Harfoots, I look at them and I can smell them through the screen.
I mean, if this was a comedy, he would say that and then he'd sniff and he'd be like, stand downwind.
Yeah, you beat me to the rock, you bastard. You piece of shit. That's what I was going to say. I'm going to be able to smell the root, but could you please stand downwind there for a bit?
I don't even have him say it. I just have him like gently nudge her away.
Yeah, with a stick. Like, just push her away with oh, now I can smell it. Yeah,
Do you smell that? No.
Yeah.
Well, I do.
No, because they're heading to, what is it? A room with a view? What?
Yeah.
All I smell is rotten berries, BO, and feet.
No, but the point is they're going to an evil place. Why would he say this is the way to go because it smells sweet? No, they're going to an evil place.
It should smell like the Harfoot.
Well,
this place is evil, but it smells better than you.
I beg to differ. I think it's going to smell like Cheetos.
Well, I know exactly what the sweet smell was. That was, as you said before, the wind just shifted, and the wind was like momentarily, it was like blowing the stench of the Harfoots away. That's why it
There you
seemed
go.
like it smelled nice, because it was like a momentary respite from the collective body odor of the Harfoots.
Always follow your nose, and the sea is always right.
Yeah.
And the other great line in the show was, "Hope is never mere, not even when it's meager."
I have to
So it's a bunch of taglines for commercials.
Oh,
It was this
What
series.
What's next?
line.
Calgon, take me away, or what?
Yeah. It's been a series of commercial lines and lines trying to sound profound, and I emphasize trying because they failed miserably when
It's
it came
hard to
to the
write that,
succeeding
though.
aspect of
You
it.
have to give them some credit. That it is really hard to write that stuff, that style. I couldn't.
It was evidently above their level of mastery.
Scripts, just come up with a bunch of like Tolkien dialogue real quick.
What? Are you crazy? It's Tolkien dialogue. That's hard to do.
He is like a performing circus monkey.
Writing something like, writing an adaptation on something like this would be like writing for historical fiction, because it has that level of depth. And it's not something that you can do easily. And, certainly it would take a lot of research to even try to think of the approach, just the approach that's appropriate for this. Would it even make any sense in the context culturally? You have to, delve into it much deeper than just an ordinary story. So certainly I think anybody who would dare to go this route, is a very talented writer if you could pull it off. And I'm not quite sure what we got, but they spent a lot of money on it. And it's something that they did. I'm sure someone will take this and mix it up and make a bit of a comedy out of it, because I think that there are some funny parts.
There is a potential for a fantasy comedy based on this premise. To answer Culture's question, the thing I could come up with right now is follow the light too often and you may get burned. Follow the darkness and you may freeze. Like that's just my starting point. And
that's better than anything they came up with.
And from there you got to kind of rework it.
That's
but they're all trailer lines.
I've ever heard.
They're all trailer lines anyway. That's all they are.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, what do they call it? Bumper sticker sensibilities. Yeah. I'm like, no thanks. T-shirts, whatnot. Yeah, it's
the wood plaques with the burned words in it. That's what this is.
Yeah. I feel like they actually maybe got NPH's character from How I Met Your Mother, Barney, to come and give them inspirational posters that they could use for their writing, and they just took the slogans off of those. Awesomeness, yes, I'll take that.
There's just a ton of meaningless blah blah blah. One of the things that Jackson did really well in the first trilogy was, again, the rule that a line either advances character, advances story, and preferably both.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, then you change it or toss it. And there's so many lines in this ROP that breaks that rule.
Yeah, just add the E, and you'll be add the E to that, and then find a rafter somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. Find a branch. I love the thing in the second to last show where not yet, with the dude was shaking the tree, and then just this one clump of branches fell down. It's like, I did that in a Super 8 movie back when I was 10 years old, where just sort of like went to the top of the roof and threw some branches down on some guys who went, and then collapsed to the ground. Oh my God, it was hilariously bad. Anyway, there was no branch falling this time, just the three people, the wraiths, who picked the wrong dude.
And a lot of people falling asleep, though.
Whoa, I'm going to put out all the fires with the stick that they gave me. And then when I'm done with getting rid of the wraiths, my shaft will then just disappear for no reason. Because that's like, why did my magic shaft disappear? Like, why? What's the reason?
Why? I don't get why the staff vanished. I mean, I'm just thinking of a parody right now, like Lord of the Jewels, Bracelets of Power, and it's just
that's how baby wizards are born.
Look, sometimes the staff disappears because you have low blood flow. I mean, stuff like that happens.
We do know in the story that Sauron Sauron did disguise himself and manipulated people along the way.
Yes.
So to have had Halbrand to the audience, ironically, if we knew that he was Sauron and going around helping people and making rings, that would have made way more sense and would have been way more interesting.
You know, it would have been way more interesting if there had been a sex scene with Halbrand and Galadriel first, and then afterwards, then she discovered what you used me, and you're Sauron. You're the guy who killed my brother. Then he could be like, yeah, I killed your brother.
Then
I boned you.
Then he ghosts her.
Then he ghosts her, yeah.
Yeah.
He's crying about
and then you bring in the writers of She-Hulk for some like assistance in what to do next here.
She's standing at the Palantir waiting for a call from Sauron, but it never comes.
Sauron penetrated her family twice.
Oh my!
Whoa!
Wow!
I can't believe that they wasted that opportunity. Like, if Galadriel was like pissed off before, and she was like obsessed with him before, I mean, what a wasted opportunity. They have like 4 seasons to go here.
So I don't get it. How are they going to get the 7 rings for the dwarves, the 9 rings for the humans?
I know. They don't know either. They're going to plan on finding that out later. Because that is the bad robot way.
They didn't even explain how the forging of these 3 rings saved the elves.
No, or how it's going to. You mean how it's going to?
How it's going to, yeah.
And why do the jewels make a difference? Like, what's the power of the jewels that add to them? Like,
they're just pretty.
If we're playing an RPG game, then we know adding the jewel to the thing, to the sword, to this thing, to the what's it. We know that
we dexterity or strength or wisdom or intelligence.
We've added our shit. They aren't even using game logic to help us understand. Oh, that ring with the thing that's got the red thing. That's going to give you extra health. And the green one. Oh, that's stamina. You're going to get more stamina out of that one.
Or blue for the sea, white for air, and red for fire. Like that type of stuff. General.
Right.
All right. Hey, look, they're probably just there to increase the blood.
Planet comes.
They're probably just there to increase blood flow for the magic staffs out there. That's all I'm thinking.
Probably just there because
I'm sorry, Andre.
Yeah, I was just going to say they're probably just there because the elves are holier than thou, narcissistic assholes.
They are.
And they want some really pretty shiny things.
Yeah.
Well, I think that they are greedy in the story. Yes, I think that's what they're trying to say. And if anything.
Well, again,
culture's trying to leave. So.
I do. Yeah, I have to go. I'm just going to say I agree with Paul. Had they revealed Sauron halfway through to the audience and then watched that, like the coming together of those two people, I think the culmination of the season should have been the realization that Galadriel and Sauron, did the beast with 2 backs. And now she's super pissed that he's finally been revealed to her as the bad guy. I think all of that would have been
more upset that he was the best lay she ever had.
There you go. And on that note, everybody check out all.
She gives birth to Sauron's son, Todd.
No. They're gonna. No, they would use a way to end the pregnancy early to drag that into the modernity of everything. So
they go to a state that supports legal.
Yeah. They have to go to a different part of Middle Earth so that they can get that procedure taken care of. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, and that they can get like some political messaging in there as well.
Sorry, I'm just spitballing. I gotta go. I love you guys.
And we're doing better than the writers are. Just spitballing here. So yeah, good times.
Yeah, so it would have been we should have known ahead of time even what the crown might have provided.
Yeah.
But knowing the elves from the book and the movies, they would have zeroed in on the ring immediately. Like, they're not stupid people. Why they went, can't do the crown, but maybe we can do the ring thing. That would be better. No,
we can try a necklace, a bracelet, an anklet. We have enough for 3 rings. 3 rings.
3 rings. We're going to, like, my godmother was a jeweler, Anna. So she would take a ring to when I would go to a jeweler store. She was actually in the 60s one of the jewelers for the richest people in Toronto. And then when I'd go in the back, she had all the beautiful rings that she designed and had made. And in the front were the ugliest rings with the huge hunk of gold and the thing and the what's it. And I said, Anna, why are the ugly rings like in the front? Because ugly sells, darling. That's what she.
There you go.
There you go. There's my Anna Gilbert. And her husband was the Continental. The women came into the office and he was this short guy, but he was always in a suit, Hungarian accent. The women always loved him.
I love those Hungarian accents.
The Hungarian accent. It is very unique. Emphasize the first syllable of every word. That is the key to doing a Hungarian accent. So the this